Kingdom Hearts meets Ratchet Clank. That's the first thought that came to my mind when I played Duskfade. After spending a couple of hours with the demo, I think this might be one of the most promising indie action platformers coming out this year. The story follows Zirian, a young hero whose sister has been trapped inside a mysterious clock tower. The world has been plunged into an eternal night, and Zirian sets out to rescue her while uncovering the secrets behind this disaster. Along the way he meets Cuckoo, a mechanical bird that was apparently created by his sister. The interesting thing is that Cuckoo doesn't remember much about its past, and is also searching for something that it has lost. For me, Cuckoo was easily the standout part of the story. A lot of companion characters in games exist just to agree with the protagonist, but Cuckoo has its own personality. It doesn't take any nonsense from Zirian and often pushes back against him. At the same time, it's adorable, and I found myself enjoying their interactions more than anything else in the demo. The overall vibe of the game immediately reminded me of Kingdom Hearts, mostly because of the fantasy atmosphere, colorful areas, emotional tone, and even Zirian's oversized weapon, which honestly looks like it could be a weird keyblade. At the same time, the blend of platforming, combat, gadgets, and a mechanical companion gave me strong Ratchet& Clank vibes. Visually, the game looks fantastic. The environments are colorful, varied, and full of personality. The demo takes you through a few areas. There is a main city hub, and from there it looks like the adventure will expand into larger regions with their own themes and challenges. The platforming feels smooth from the start. You get a dash, a double jump, and eventually unlock a grappling hook. And I can't think of any games where a grappling hook makes things worse. As soon as I unlocked it, traversal became much more enjoyable. You can launch yourself toward specific anchor points at high speed, and it adds a lot more flow and momentum to movement. My only issue with the platforming is that, at least in the demo, it didn't challenge me enough. Most of the secrets and upgrades hidden throughout the levels were fairly easy to reach. I found myself wishing for more difficult platforming sections that would really make me master the movement system. That said, this could simply be because it's an early section of the game designed to introduce mechanics gradually. The music was good throughout the demo. Nothing that immediately blew me away, but it fit the fantasy atmosphere well and never felt out of place. The presentation was also solid, major cutscenes are fully voiced and the voice acting was good, though smaller conversations with NPCs are handled through text. Combat is another area where I had a good time even though it wasn't perfect. You can lock onto enemies, dodge attacks, and deflect projectiles back at enemies, which is always satisfying. The problem is that when multiple enemies attack at once, battles can become a bit chaotic. I often found myself playing defensively, waiting for attacks, dodging, and then counter-attacking one enemy at a time. The gadgets seem like they'll add more variety later. The one I unlocked in the demo was called Chrono Blast, which unleashes a powerful energy blast. It consumes temporal energy, but you can recharge it by attacking enemies. It's a simple mechanic, but it immediately added another layer to combat. Enemy designs are also pretty interesting, but I did run into one visual issue. Because the environments are so colorful, some enemies blend into the background more than they should. In a combat-focused game, readability is important, and there were a few moments where I got attacked by something I didn't even notice at first. One thing I really appreciate about Duskfade is that it embraces a more classic design philosophy. The levels aren't open world. Instead, they're large enough to encourage exploration without becoming overwhelming. It feels very much like a PS2 era action platformer in the best possible way. You explore, collect upgrades, find secrets, unlock abilities, and move on to the next adventure. The demo ends with a boss fight that combines combat and platforming quite well. It finally gave me some of the challenge I had been looking for and forced me to use pretty much every ability I had unlocked, though it was not the most original boss fight. Most players will probably recognize some familiar mechanics, but it was fun, and more importantly, it demonstrated that the game can create engaging encounters when it wants to. Overall, my biggest concern with Duskfade is that it may not bring any new ideas to the genre. It wears its inspirations proudly, and you can clearly see the influence of games like Kingdom Hearts, Ratchet and Clank, and Jack and Daxter throughout the experience. But honestly, I don't think that's necessarily a huge problem. Sometimes it's okay to take great ideas from other games, execute them well, and create a fun adventure. And based on this demo, Duskfade absolutely succeeds at that. It looks great, feels mostly fun to play, has a charming companion character, and captures a style of action platformer that we don't get nearly enough these days. I'm definitely looking forward to the full release, and I hope the final game expands on what the demo started. Duskfade launches on August 13th, 2026 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, Nintendo Switch 2 and PC through Steam. If you're interested, there's already a demo available right now on PC and PS5.